Hello, and welcome to another teaching from TorahFamily.org. We are a family-based ministry that believes the whole Bible stands forever, that all of it is based in the Torah, and all of it promotes the Torah. Please visit us at TorahFamily.org for more teachings like this one. We hope this teaching helps you learn and grow in the faith. Men of Yahweh, Chapter 16, Rising Above. Every day we make decisions to go over or to go through something. Of course, there will be times when we'll be forced to go through something and not have the choice to go over it. But when we are faced with the option, do we take the high road or the low road? Do we go over or through? While everyone likes to believe they choose the high road to life, many still complain about what life seems to throw at them. Yet, I can't help but wonder how much of what life seems to throw at us could be completely avoided. You see, sometimes we may think we chose the high road, but our circumstances may be proving we chose the opposite road instead. Oh, and I know how everyone's living the righteous life of Job. They just have to suffer through the hard time that Yahweh has called them to at this time. Surely, the hard time they're going through has nothing to do with the choice that they made, and they're just experiencing a Job season of life. Don't get me wrong. I know those Job seasons do happen. I do. I really do. But have you ever wondered if some things could be self-inflicted? I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone complain about their circumstances when, all the while, the cause was actually from choices they made. It may be hard to admit this at times, but that doesn't void the fact that there are times when we can indeed be the cause of our own problems. No one wants to hear the phrase, "You made your bed, now sleep in it." That phrase seems so, well, harsh. However, there can be an element of truth to it. Basically, you reap what you sow, be it for the positive or for the negative. Proverbs 11:18. The wicked man earns deceptive wages, but he who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. Proverbs 22:8. He who sows wickedness reaps trouble, and the rod of his fury will be destroyed. No matter what you do, it will come back to you, be it bad or good. Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. But for the most part, no one wants to imagine something they're going through is a result of something they did. That would mean they would have to admit to their doing something wrong, or at least making a bad decision. That being a decision where they chose to lower themselves instead of rising above. To give an example of what I'm talking about here, not long ago, a friend shared a meme on Facebook that resonated with this message I was working on. I searched out the source of the meme and found it to be a part of a small comic strip. This comic strip hit the nail on the head with my message. While I'm sure we'll all find something on the site we disagree with, I was impressed with this particular page. It said, "Unfortunately, all of us at some point will come face to face with rudeness, hostility, and envy. And many of us quite naturally respond in kind. But it's important to remember that how we react to the negativity thrown at us by others is always our choice, and our choice alone." They continued, "We at Brightside would like to share this short comic strip based on a well-known parable that will help to remind you about one very important lesson. Sometimes it's better to just remain calm and not react to the bad things people say to you. Then they posted this comic strip. Once, an arrogant warrior came to see a wise samurai. The warrior said, "You're an old fool. You have no strength left. I'll strike you down in one blow." But the old teacher continued with his lesson, and the warrior left with nothing. A student of the samurai said, "Master, why did you tolerate his insults? You should have challenged him to a fight." The samurai said to his whole class, "If someone brings you a gift and you don't take it, to whom does it belong?" The class replied, "The one who offered it." The samurai then said, "The same applies to envy and insults. If you refuse to accept them, they belong to the one who offered them." This comic strip illustrates exactly what I was thinking of when I was working on this teaching. It shows us precisely what the scriptures say. For example, Proverbs 12:16. A fool shows his annoyance at once, but a prudent man overlooks an insult. The problem is that far too many people don't overlook the insult. They accept the gift and begin to fight. They don't go over the situation, but choose to go through the mud. And then the mudslinging starts. The sad part is, many people forget that every time you throw mud, you're only losing ground. But it doesn't have to begin with someone else attacking you. You could be the one starting it. Oh, surely you would never do such a thing, right? Of course not. Or would you? How often have you heard or seen someone make a statement that you knew was biblically wrong? From your point of view, anyway. Did you let it go, or did you try to correct them? If you tried to correct them, like it or not, you just set yourself up for a potentially huge explosion. That's why Proverbs 17:14 says this: "Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before a dispute breaks out." And please consider this, Proverbs 9:7. "Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a wicked man incurs abuse." You see, offering your opinion is one thing. Speaking it to correct someone is another. Trying to instruct someone when not asked is just inviting an argument. This verse alone speaks volumes to it. Many like to take this verse to look down on the mocker and the wicked. However, this verse is showing the needed instruction for those who deal with these people. If you don't heed this instruction, the result falls on you. This makes you the one to blame and not the one who is wicked or the mocker. Whether you're asked for your opinion or not, wisdom is needed in knowing who you're talking with. The book of Proverbs tells us a wise person accepts advice. Proverbs 12:15. "The way of a fool seems right to him, but a wise man listens to advice." Proverbs 13:10. "Pride only breeds quarrels, but wisdom is found in those who take advice." Proverbs 19:20. "Listen to advice and accept instruction, and in the end you will be wise." It doesn't mean the wise person has to follow the advice given to them, but one who is wise will seriously consider what is provided for possible instruction. But if you start offering advice to someone who isn't wise, what kind of response do you really think you're going to receive? So when someone comes out to verbally attack you, don't lower yourself to retaliate. This is the challenge for rising above the situation. This is your opportunity to scale an obstacle and come out on top. Think of it with this scripture, Proverbs 22:10. "Drive out the mocker, and out goes strife. Quarrels and insults are ended. So, how do you drive out a mocker? Simple. Don't engage. That's where you rise above. You rise above by not accepting their invitation to a never-ending quarrel. Trying to change someone's mind who is determined to not change their mind is like jumping on a roller coaster that can't be controlled. I know the comic strip was just that, a comic strip. However, it shows what most always happens when you ignore a troublemaker. They eventually walk away because they aren't getting the attention they want. Thus, you drive out the mocker. So let them be. Mockers are people who are looking for discussions where they can tout their opinions and deride those who choose to differ. While you may sincerely want to help them, they don't want your help. They want you to listen to them, so you will tell them how right they are. If you don't agree with them, they'll lift themselves up by cutting you down along with everyone else who agrees with you. Remember, it's not your responsibility to change someone. Let me say that again. It's not your responsibility to change someone. Present truth in love and let it be. After that, it's on them. Yeshua never once begged anyone to believe him. Never once. If you feel you have to change someone's mind, be careful. You could be sitting in the seat of mockers. That passion only pushes people away, or it can cause them to rise up against you passionately as a mocker themselves. This is where we have to be determined ahead of time to always rise above, to be resolved to not let a person or situation cause us to choose otherwise. That's why we read this in Ecclesiastes. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. It's as if a fool is always looking for a fight. Of course, they would never say that. However, their actions are screaming otherwise. They boast their opinions and looking for accolades from their sidekicks and just wait for anyone to disagree. We have to make our minds up the moment we get out of bed to rise above. We have to be committed to never lowering ourselves to the pleasure of proving ourselves right against someone else. To simply rise above by walking away. You know, there's a reason why Yahweh said the following in Revelation 21, verse 7. The one who conquers will have this heritage, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. Another way of saying conquer here is overcome. Meaning what? Meaning to rise above, to go over, to take the high road. Rise above today and every day. Be the conqueror Yahweh has called you to be. Don't allow yourself to be dragged into a mud fight. No one ever wins at those. All they do is make a big mess. Rise above. Overcome. Conquer. We hope you have enjoyed this teaching. Now, it's up to you to be a Berean and study it for yourself. That's the only way to grow. Until next time, Shalom.